This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. Ooh, yeah, let's go. Second round for the Cold Lake Ice, upcoming against the Laklavish Clippers. If you're at the rink last night in Cold Lake, or you caught on YouTube there on their YouTube channel, you may have caught the old Dolynny TV intro on one of their videos. But that said, ladies and gentlemen, that's not the concern tonight. You know what? That was my concern all day yesterday. Making sure that ice highlight pack got up, making sure the ice were taken care of, and making sure that live stream for them went dandy. Tonight, of course, we face a big opponent in the LA Kings, and of course that means an 8 p.m. start. We'll be live streaming at least the first two periods of hockey. Let's be serious, at least the first two. We'll find out if we go the full length. Probably not, based on how late of a game it's going to be, but we'll find out. Now that said, the reason we're doing this video today is obviously the number that's involved in it. No, this ain't your game preview if that's what you're tuning in for. This is kind of a sad reminder of what we've lost this year, right? The Oilers, right up there. One of the most competitive teams in the Pacific Division all year long. That said, we've lost quite a bit. And what I mean in terms of losing is man games. Guys in the lineup going down like flies. And guys, it's just the way she happens because, well, realistically, that's Edmonton Oilers' luck. Always has been, always will be. And hopefully it somehow changes in the future. But like I said, always will be is the key term there. So that said, let me get this graphic for you. But before we do that, if you're new to Dolynny TV and you're like, this guy's talking about injuries, I want to see him really talk about real fun, exciting Oilers stuff, then you want to hit that subscribe button and hopefully tune into the game review after tonight's, well, a big win against LA would be huge here. So that said, I promised you an image. That's a lot of names. My goodness. If you caught me on Twitter, I said 18. Technically, the thing we keep forgetting about is Brodziak still is on the payroll, still is counting against the cap, still is on the roster, and that said, he's now on the LTIR, which is where that cap space actually came from. Technically speaking, the cap space from sending down Bouchard and Cave came from Brodziak going to the LTIR more so than sending those guys down. Now, Brodziak, Persson times 2, Sheehan times 2, Yurko, Larson, Chason times 2, Archibald times 2, Nygaard times 2, Manning, Kara, Nugent-Hopkins, Benning we all know times 2, Smith, Kazian plus suspensions, Russell times 2, Clefbaum, Neal, McDavid, Gagne. My friggin' goodness, ladies and gentlemen, that is absolutely unreal. That is 19 players at some point this season have missed time. Now there's one or two guys on here that have only missed a practice day, technically speaking, but they were still injured in a game and did not return, and that's kind of where they get counted into this. At some point, guys, think about this. So, okay, 19 players all said and done on this list, right? That's where we're going. We've crossed 200 man games plus lost this NHL season. We've lost more than just about 2.5 seasons worth of games out of these 19 guys so far, and it's not about to quit quite yet, right? Think about Neal, he's not back today. Like, Clefbaum's going to be out for another 3 or 4 at least, minimum, bare minimum, right? Like, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, it's a lot of man games, and here we are sitting in the Pacific Division doing okay, just dandy. Now, problem is, things shifted around last night and I haven't been able to review quite yet this morning. Doing end of February kind of things, if you go get where I'm going. I mentioned it often enough. The Oilers sitting with 71 points. They're comfortably in a playoff spot, if there is such a thing as comfortable in the Pacific Division. The Calgary Flames 1 point out of a playoff spot. So, technically speaking, I'm very comfortable with that. Now, that said, ladies and gentlemen, playing the LA Kings tonight. But you just look at this, right? We've lost 200 man games to it, and we're sitting third in the Pacific Division on February 23rd. Like I said, however comfortable, uncomfortable you are with that, make of it what you will. But we're sitting competitive, playing good hockey every night. And ladies and gentlemen, the stat I got to the other night is simply put, the Oilers have 71 points. If I remember what they finished with last year, they had 79. So let's just be serious. This team much, much improved over last year and already has 32 wins on the year, and it's not even March yet. We got several games left. We got a 4-game stretch before midnight on the 29th. Of course, that game, I believe, against the Winnipeg Jets. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's just count this up, how many times we've had a guy injured, right? Brodziak, Persson times 2, 3. Sheehan times 2, 5. Yurko, Larson, Chason times 2, 9. Archibald times 2, 11. Nygaard times 3, 14. Manning, Kara, 15. Nugent-Hopkins, 16. Benning times 2, 18. Smith, Kazian, Russell times 2. Well, right there. What's that? 22. Problem is, Russell, another guy that I kind of sketchily mathed in here, he had a family absence. So, not exactly an injury. Did miss a game, but not a, right? Yeah, kind of thing. But it's a man game lost, and it technically counts, so keep going. Clefbaum, Neal, McDavid, Gagne. Ladies and gentlemen, that is 26 if I got the math right. It might be 25, it might be 27. Count for yourself and yell at me in the comments if I got it wrong. But look at it that way. That is absolutely friggin' ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. 26 times the Oilers this season have lost someone to injury. Think about that. How many men is that overall? That is absolutely nuts, right? The times 2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So it's actually 27. Pardon me. It's 27 times the Oilers have lost someone, and that is nuts. That is absolutely nuts, because you think about that, guys, that is more than a 23-man roster, okay? That's the Oilers throughout the year have lost a full roster plus 4 guys at the end of the day, and that is just a ridiculous stat to sit here. And you think about where this team is, right? Obviously, you look at the back end injuries. Persson, right? That was a starting defenseman for the year. Larson, obviously, supposed to be a leader on this team defensively this year. Manning, take it or leave it. Benning, and then, of course, Clefbaum. Guys, you look at that. That's 3 impact defenders. I know Benning, that sounds weird to say an impact defender, but he is important on that third pair. Persson, you just coulda, woulda, shoulda if he could have stayed healthy in the NHL level. And then, of course, you've got Manning, who only missed really 1 or 2 games with hand injury and they got sent down. But that is absolutely nuts to think. And you talk about this goal differential for the Oilers that everyone points we should be so much better. I'm sorry. Look at the guys we've lost this year. 194 goals for to 190 goals against. That is some incredible differences there for the Oilers compared to last year. And, of course, in light of these insane injuries the Oilers have had all year. And you talk about it, the weird part is you'd think an injury team like this, right, a team that's gone through this many injuries would really struggle on the road. That's kind of where it would pile up, right? You get home, heal up, rest up, you'd be good. On the road, they're 17, 12, and 2 are the Oilers, and they are 15, 10, and 5 at home. So the Oilers, yeah, they've played a lot more games on the road, realistically, actually. They've played 31 games on the road, and they've only played 30 games at home. So one more game, that's not too much. But you look at it, right? We've handed, well, 1 less loss and 1 more win on the road than at home. And that is nuts to think that this Edmonton Oilers team has done that, right? Has done that with this list. Yeah, Brodziak, shuffle him off. Didn't really make much of an impact down the stretch last year. Shuffle him, it's good. Good Lakeland boy, all good. No problem. Appreciate the effort in the NHL and have a happy retirement. But the rest of these guys, right? Yurko ended up being gone for the year due to hip surgery, if I'm not mistaken, in the AHL once he got down there, and he had like 7 points in 8 games. So, guys, like this Oilers team, stack them up and knock them down as to who's been injured this year. And somehow, some way, we're still here, we're still fighting, and we've still got a very good chance of making the NHL playoffs. It's nuts to me, but that's what I like about this time of year, guys. You start realizing just how lucky you are to be where you are, but at the same rate, how hard you've worked to overcome the obstacles in your way to get where you are today. Guys, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's edition. That said, again, okay, a little bit more boring of an episode, just going over a couple of easy housekeeping notes. You have to do it at some point. But definitely, if you want to subscribe for more Oilers content, now is the time to do it. Trying to hit 8,000 subscribers. We crossed 7,500 last week, and all of a sudden we're sitting here at 7,542 and having an incredible month of growth here on Dolynny TV. And the trade deadline is tomorrow, guys. I am up on out of here.